Hey guys, Stalks here, and today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite champions in League of Legends, the Grandmaster at Arms, JAX. I like taking JAX into the jungle because he's such a versatile fighter. Whether you build him tanky or for CC or high damage, he brings a lot to team fights. Not only that, but he's very strong 1v1, and he packs plenty of disengage in case you get collapsed on. Now because JAX is so versatile, there are a lot of ways you can build him. I'm going to show you how to build him with plenty of lockdown and massive sustained damage. This build is a little squishy, so you have to stay on your toes, but your teamfight potential will be insane. Before we get started, let's take a quick look at JAX's abilities. JAX's passive is called Relentless Assault. This is an attack speed ramp up, meaning that he gains increasing amounts of attack speed while he stays in combat. His Q is Leap Strike. This is a medium distance jump that he can use to reach an ally, a ward, or an enemy. If the leap is used on an enemy, it deals a nice chunk of physical damage. His W is called Empower. This ability just adds a flat boost of magic damage to your next attack. Unfortunately, this ability does not affect turrets, but that's okay. With your late game attack speed, you won't need it to. His E is called Counter Strike, and it is possibly JAX's most useful ability. For up to 2 seconds, JAX dodges all basic attacks and takes less damage from AoEs. When the 2 seconds are over, JAX stuns every enemy that's near him and deals a chunk of damage. The more attacks he dodged, the more damage he deals. The cool thing here is that you can end the effect early by pushing E again, giving you full control over the timing of the stun. Finally, his ult, Grandmaster's Might. Once you hit level 6 and learn your ultimate, JAX gains a passive. Every third strike, JAX deals additional magic damage. This ability can be activated, granting a huge spike in armor and magic resist. Now that we've looked at his abilities, with all that in mind, let's set up a rune page. Okay, so we're going to start off in the domination tree with Hail of Blades. This is going to give a nice attack speed bonus for the first 3 attacks made against an enemy champion. It's also going to allow us to ignore the attack speed cap, which is really good for JAX because by end game, you're maxing out attack speed very easily. The other cool thing is since these first 3 attacks are going to get off much quicker, you're going to build your stacks of passive and build up that attack speed bonus much faster. Next we're going to go for Sudden Impact, which is going to give you a nice burst of lethality and magic penetration after you use your leap attack or a flash. That's just going to help you get through armor and magic resistance and really help your damage output. Alright, next one is Eyeball Collection. I take this one because I do mostly 3s on Twisted Treeline and there are no wards, so it's really the only viable option. But really, in any situation, the more takedowns you get, the more you're going to get some adaptive force, which is always nice. And finally, Ravenous Hunter. This is going to allow you to heal off of the damage that you deal with your abilities, which most of your damage is going to come from your auto attacks, but this is still the best option on this tier. Okay, and for your second set of runes, we're going to use Precision. We're going to start off with Legend Alacrity, because this is going to give us extra attack speed for enemy takedowns, and JAX is all about attack speed, especially with this build. And for your last rune, we're going to take Coup de Grace. This is going to allow you to get some health off of the damage that you're dealing. When JAX starts pumping out all this damage, especially with this build, he's going to need that extra health to stay in the fight, and Coup de Grace is going to fit perfectly with the rest of your build. Now for items, we're going to go with Red Smite instead of Blue Smite in almost every situation because the extra damage on hit. We're going to go with the Blood Razor for the extra attack speed, pretty much always going to be the way you want to go. For boots, we're usually going to go with Berserker's Greaves for the attack speed. Now Ginsu's Rage Blade is going to be one of the most important items in our build. Not only does it give us attack damage, ability power, and attack speed, but it also gives us on-hit damage, armor penetration, magic penetration, and an ability called Ginsu's Rage, which means that our on-hit effects are going to trigger twice every other attack, which is huge for JAX. We're also going to want Trinity Force. Now this is a good all-around item, it gives a lot of survivability, but the big benefit here is called Spellblade. It's going to give you a huge boost of damage to your next attack after using an ability. If you can time that with your Rage Blade proc, you're going to get a massive spike in damage. I also like to take Frozen Mallet with JAX. It's a nice boost to damage and health, but the big benefit is the CC. It's going to put some pretty powerful slows on anybody that you're fighting, which is really going to help in the team fight. Now for your last item, it's really going to depend on who you're playing against and who's on your team. If you're finding yourself in a tank role and you're on the front line a lot, you might want the Bloodthirster. This is going to give you a lot of self-heal and it's going to keep you in the fight longer. If you find that a lot of the enemies you're going against are squishy and you can really nuke them down with high damage, you're going to want Hextech Gunblade. This is going to let you have a lot more damage output. If you're split pushing and you need more wave clear, you're going to want Titanic Hydra. This is going to help you survive longer and it's going to give you massive wave clear. My personal favorite is Blade of the Ruined King. This is going to increase your attack speed, it's going to increase your damage output, and this is another item that does % health damage. So you're really going to tear down some tanks with this weapon. This was my jungle build guide for JAX, one of my favorite champions. Who are some of your favorite champions that you'd like to see us do a guide for? Let us know in the comments, and as always, game on.